All right, so finishing up about knowledge, peace, understanding versus anger, frustration, and fear. So again, like I said, every time I come out, ouch,
48 minutes.
there's always a new revelation for me. And like I said, the things that I'm not wise enough to kind of figure out on my own, God created for me. Now, the first thing was again going to the place and me having in my mind, okay, worldly wisdom. All right, you don't need to open your mouth to say anything to this person at all because you already know you're not that person's type of person. You want to keep your life easy, keep it to the minimal. Then you don't rub that person the wrong way. They don't rub you the wrong way. Blah blah blah. And so, situation came when I saw something that elicited me, encouraged me to say something. And for me, I'm a very artistic, creative person. So if I see something that I think is beautiful with this, whether it's artistic, whether it be hair, food, clothes, that type of thing, it's like I feel like it just moves something into me where it's a reflex reaction. Hey, I like that. And again, some people, because they've been through enough things in their life, after a while, they feel like um, if you're mentioning something that's suspicious, because perhaps they've been tried enough times themselves. Um, so I'm commenting on the lady's hair. She's like, "Oh, I had this for a while, for a minute," and she was real cool about the way she said it. She didn't get offended. When normally, like I said, it's like round. And when I looked closer, I realized that it was old. But I guess after the process of being worn, it kind of fell differently. Now, so again, and then just acknowledging the fact that people get old and they change, and whoever they are is who they are. So even though you're 70, 80 years old, if when you were younger, you were a rah rah mama that stood up for whatever and didn't have a problem. Oh, it's tomorrow, today, Memorial Day? I think it is. If you didn't have a problem, if you didn't have a problem, giving somebody the business, then the same thing, that's still going to remain in you, even though you may be 100 years old and you may not be able to give them the business like you want to give them the business, but still, it's still in you to let them know what's up. So again, just realize to treat everybody with love and care because, everybody gets old. you know, they may or may not still have their faculties based on their life. If you lived a whole hard life where you were fighting all the time or people was fighting you all the time and you were sad all the time, then you're going to have some, you may indeed have some issues with health as you get older. But on the same note, you might be good and healthy, but however you are, that's how you've been for the last 70, 80 years of your life. Ain't nothing going to change that, you know? Um, so, what else I wanted to say in addition is that another situation that happened about what I was talking about, what's for you is for you, or what's for me is for me. Um, the situation was this: there was two Spanish girls, and they were doing their laundry, and I was noticing, I was saying, must be every time I come on a Monday, they're doing their laundry, and the Spanish guy's there. Now, the Spanish guy, offered the girls the dryer to do their clothes, and the girls were just like, no, it's okay. She wants to put clothes together. Now, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. He offered, and this guy's a little nasty, so I think maybe he had something against black people or he had some bad experiences. I don't know what the situation was, but I'm like, okay. So, but when I went back, I saw he had the dryer just running on its own. And so because he had the dryer just running on its own, I went and told the Spanish girl, and I don't think one of them didn't really speak English. I was like, hey, that guy was trying to help you. Now the dryer is empty and it's just running. It has 6 minutes on it, whatever. So the um, the guy I didn't know what was going on, but he came over. He said something to the girls, and I felt kind of bad because I was just like, did I just get them in trouble because I told them to put their clothes in there? So I was like, hey, I was like, I'm sorry. I told them I hope I didn't. That's not a problem. I thought you were trying. He was like, what? You know, and I was like, he's like, what? And I was like, oh, well, I was just saying that I thought you were, I'm sorry, it wasn't their fault if they're in trouble. I thought that you were trying to help them, by asking, telling them to put their clothes in there. So I told them they could go ahead and put their clothes in there. And, and, you know, and I was like, that's not a problem, is it? He was just like, no. And then not only did he do that, but he gave them like 20 extra minutes and then told them to put their other clothes in the bottom dryer and then gave them another half an hour on that. Now on the one part I could have felt offended because out of all the kindness that I gave, he was really nasty to me. And not only that, but I mean, it was just, even after I was obviously trying to help them, and but I learned that it wasn't them, and it wasn't that they were just coming. I thought they were all together, but they weren't. I thought that on the days he come, he tells all his Spanish friends to come and they can wash free, you know, or dry free. But that wasn't really the case at all. I hope people don't think I'm reporting them. But that wasn't the case at all. Let me cover this up just in case. Um, but that wasn't the case at all. The case really was that um, that they were just coming to watch. They probably thought he was just a guy being creepy or flirty, and they were just like, nah, and they wanted to keep the stuff together. But when they saw it was free, they put it in, and then he still was really rude. I was like, wow. But the lesson that I learned from that is that again, don't feel a certain type of way because maybe somebody else getting somebody else is getting some. Because I didn't see if it was a black person, they wouldn't have got it. But the benefits. Um, don't begrudge somebody. Oh, you know what? I hope this place is open because it's Memorial Day, Monday. But I'll go check it out and see anyhow. But don't begrudge that because the way that he was being nasty, it didn't have nothing to do with those girls. Those girls were not nasty at all. They was cool, you know. And so sometimes you think that when somebody is doing nice for somebody else, and that person that's doing something nice to somebody else is nasty to you, then that means that those other people are going to be nasty too. It's not necessarily true. But maybe they didn't see him being nasty to me, so they didn't know. So I don't know, but I felt like that was a lesson for me to learn. And then also, because when I think about me in the situations that I've been in, like in the different shelters and things like that, where I've had the people that were managing food and things like that would say, oh, people get real offended if I serve you first and that type of thing. Now, the reason I say, the reason that I say that I'm thankful for a good heart is because, even in all of that, there was a girl, I looked at my thing and I was like, oh, I only got 5 minutes left. I can put my clothes away and be gone. Then I looked up, next thing I know, it's like 30 minutes on the dryer. And so I tapped this girl because I thought she put extra money on. So I was like, hey, you put extra money on my dryer. And she was like, oh, no, I didn't. That other lady did. And then the woman was like, I put it on there. And I was like, oh, okay. Because and I was like, I had only 5 minutes and turn around. Now I got 30. So I told her, well, I was going to let my clothes dry for another 7 minutes so she could put hers in 5 minutes. And I did. My clothes were dry and it was all cool. And the lady that ran the place, she appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? No craziness. All of that. So I don't know. I'm thankful for small things like that. Like for sure. What else? So yeah, thankful, truly thankful for that. And I noticed people like grilling out. I guess I didn't realize today is actually Memorial Day Monday. I thought everybody would do it on the weekends, but it looks like maybe today is the day. So I'm gonna head out, and hopefully the places I need to go to are open. If not, I'm just gonna enjoy the trip. As far as me personally grilling out, I don't know how to cook out. My food don't ever smell good, so it don't smell like the grill is supposed to smell. So um, I'm just gonna, I guess, keep it the same. Like, I don't know, do what I was planning on doing. And I also wanted to blog about Memorial Day, anyways. As I'm a result of a military family, obviously, but I don't really have a lot of experience with that. Like after I got older, and the reason I say that is because again, my parents divorced when I was maybe I don't know, like 10, 12. They were separated since I was like 10, divorced when I was 12. So I didn't really get the whole benefit of that. A lot of the things I remember from when I was younger, if there's an artist, she's a Black Korean artist called Yoon Mi, and she has a song called Black Happiness, and she does it in Korean. And the first clip, if you watch the video, is of them having the same kind of cookout we used to have when we were little on the army base. You have like the big shelter, all the Korean people on one side, the black guys on the other side, and it's just her. She's the only brown thing there with all the other little Korean kids, and they're having a good time, and she's yelling out, "Oh my, oh my," and it just brought back a lot of memories for me because I remember, but a lot of things changed, after my parents split. The food wasn't the same. Like the bulgogi didn't taste the same at all, And I don't know. It's just things have changed. And then when I think about, what memories I have of Memorial Day, I mean, to me, it's a very sad thing because a lot of people went over somewhere and killed a whole lot of people that really they didn't know nothing about. You know what I mean? So, and then when you look here in the U.S. and you watch, the people that are veterans or whatever here, a lot of them are homeless. You know, and the ones that aren't homeless, just like any other job in the world, they made it through, but they made it through because they kept on a mask and didn't show their face when they felt something wasn't right or something was wrong. So that's one thing. Now, the other one that I wanted to mention was um, just recently on Whisper, I saw someone post, Memorial Day holiday, don't thank me, don't drink a beer for me, drink a beer for the people that didn't make it back. 1 o'clock. So ironic. Now, the last positive thing I remember Memorial Day, there's a young lady, y'all know I'm a little up in years, maybe about 20 or so years ago, um, 20 or so years ago, I don't remember how I met her, but I think it was like I was on a college campus. I think I know what happened. I was in college then, and there was this guy, and he wasn't like, when you think of older people at that time, it's funny because I'm older than he was then. But when you think of that, you think, oh, they must be perfect. No, he wasn't. He was just an older guy that was chilling, and I think at the time I might have been like 17. Ouch. And I think he was like 35, but I think I was at a gas station. I don't know what happened, but somehow this guy was involved. Like somebody was trying to talk to me or something, and we started laughing and talking because just because of the way the guy was acting and stuff like that. And I don't know if maybe she's experienced to him or just something. It was just something funny, It was we bonded over some guys or something, and she wasn't a student, but I spoke to her so openly at first because I thought she was. And then it's so funny because it turned out that she actually turned out to be like one of the only people that I connected with, on that level. And it's funny because she's real slim, dark skin, short, real. I don't know if it was really curly, but like Afrocentric hair, and she was real tall. And I remember like at that time in my life being so bright and so open, and that was the experience that I had when, like I said, I would walk past and people would be like, I felt your spirit. Now, then it came across like I think there was some guy again that was like from the islands, and I think he was around that age too. And I'm starting to realize now that I'm a lot older that when people are in that age group in their mid 30s and stuff, they don't. It's like they still feel 17, and that's why sometimes they are around people that are younger. But I would never allow myself to be around people that are that young. But I'm a lot older too, so but it turns out they were good friends. Him, her sister, who actually she said I looked like a lot like her sister, and I actually met her sister. And at that time, I guess we did. We both had curly hair. We both were kind of golden brown, and um, we ended up having this big cookout. We went to some store. We was buying stuff, and some lady that was there. Sometimes people watch you, you don't know they're watching. And I guess she's maybe seen me. She knew I went to school where I had an apartment off campus, and pretty much, it was another trying time in my life as far as association. And the lady was just so happy, and this is what made the memory stuck out. If the lady hadn't said anything to me, I probably even wouldn't even remember. But um, she was just like, I'm so glad that y'all having a good time, having fun. But I think she really directed it towards me, like she seen me so much, and perhaps she hadn't seen the happiest scenes. And I do imagine that, the way I feel on the inside and the way I look on the outside is completely different. People see something different, and I see it too. Like when I take pictures, I do look, um, I do look sad, but I'm not. Not on the inside, I'm not. So, and that was a real different time for me too, because I remember, they thought my mom had died because one day, and this is no lie, my hair had grown overnight. It was like maybe here, and the next morning, well, it was like twice as long, like down my back, and it just grew out of nowhere, and everything. It was crazy. So, but this young lady, ironically, is 20 years now. 20 years, is that right? Yeah, more than 20 years, like 23 years. She still hits me up on YouTube every now and then. She's left her number and stuff, but I don't know what to tell her, And I'm so glad, one thing about people that you love, I'm so glad for weaves and things like that because she always kept her hair nice, but it was a challenge. She kept her hair cut short, but it was a challenge. And the little girl, I remember she had a little girl who's grown up now and probably has a little girl of her own, but you know, I was like, what do I say to her? I was at the point in my life where I was really trying to, where I should have really been forging through and making something of myself, and this is what the result is. And it's not like she don't know because I post over everything on my videos, so she knows, you know. So what am I supposed to say to her? And her thing was like, oh, you still not responding or whatever. At first, I didn't really see her video. She would send me stuff, and I was like, who is this? I think I don't know if it was her or not, so I'm not gonna put that on her, but somebody sent me a video twerking, and I was like, what in the world? And it was like and the lady was skinny, so when I think about it, it might have been her. And I still got that free spirit. I don't do twerk videos. Not that I wouldn't, but I think what happened was somebody saw one of my channels and they were just like, why don't you? And I'm like, no, I don't do that. Now, had they not said something, that might have been on my bucket list because it was especially requested. I sincerely don't think I'm going there. So yeah, I didn't do the outfit of the day. I guess I could now that I'm waiting on my bus. It would be kind of weird. Um, so
1 o'clock, 6 minutes.
catching the bus? No. So yeah. So I don't know what to do now. 'Cause I guess I should walk up to the shade. But so anyhow, so that's what my recollection of Memorial Day, and I am walking up to the shade. I'm gonna tell you about weird situations. Like for me, like my spirit. Oh, I didn't tell y'all about the line. So when I was at the laundry, too, there's a couple there, an older couple, and I saw them once before when I was at the laundry when I had like tons and tons and tons of stuff. And you know, and I gotta admit, what happened was I came with one easy load of laundry, and then when I walked away, when I walked away, I'm the kind of person, I'm very frugal. If I see somebody sit something out on the street that they don't want, if I can use it, I'm getting it. And if they're there, I will, be like, hey, I'm gonna take this, But I saw like a bunch of stuff, and lo and behold, here I am at the wash house. It's only one load of laundry. This, so I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. Now I'm gonna tell you something that's really different to me. Like I think I'm gonna walk up to the next stop, but and I probably end up missing the bus. But so I was talking to her, and um, this is where things get weird. Somebody, somebody told
1 o'clock,
Time just went by
8 minutes.
which is nice. Yeah, it's too crowded. I'm not even gonna try to walk in there. But so anyhow, like the weird thing is this. So the guy, God, I see him walk up with like some young girl that went to the bus stop or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, let me, go right after this. Oh. So I didn't think much about it. I figured I would just find and he was sitting near the bus stop. For cars were out of town. There's people they have fun. But so I'm standing at the bus stop and I guess he just told me to keep going. And then he comes over and like watching me. You know, so it's creepy to me. Now, one thing too, when I was watching that person Sweat Marsden, he was saying how, um, where is this bus? Did I miss the bus and just don't realize it? What the freak? Did the bus just not come? Did I miss the bus? Did I really stand here and vlog and miss the bus? I hope that's not what happened because it's like 10 minutes after. Did I really miss this bus? Now, if I was standing here and the bus came by, no, the guy's still out there, so no, I ain't missed a bus. But yeah, so where is this bus? And I came out extra early too. It's gotta be coming. Oh, so anyhow, what was I saying? So, so yeah, with the Orson Sweat Marsden, I don't know if I have his name correctly, but